Friends, you may have heard, we look before and after, and pine for what is not. All human needs arise from his immediate sense of want. He just wants to fulfill his temporary lack. Sometimes he lacks the foresight to see the impending danger in terms of his desires. One day, Guru Brikshacharya was giving a discourse to his disciples in his ashram. Then a disciple stood up and asked, Gurudev, there are many situations in our life when we are not satisfied with what we have. We see the happiness of others and think how happy they are, how good it would be if we could be like them. Why do we think so, Gurudev? Gurudev smiled and said, You are right. It is a characteristic of human being that he always looks for happiness outside, not within himself. He does not find the cause of happiness in what he has. But if he searches a little, he will find many reasons within him to be happy in his life. Gurudev said, Today I will speak to you of a man who all his life sought happiness outside and not within himself. To be happy, one must learn to accept one's own situation, try to make it better if necessary, and work for it. But the village boy Bijan didn't do any of this. After completing his studies, he told his father that he wanted to do business because his all friends wanted to do business. His father said, We have agricultural land. You have studied and educated. See that you use your education to grow such crops on the land that is in great demand at home and abroad. I have heard that there is a kind of orchid that is sold abroad for a great price. See if you can trade it. Hearing his father, Bijan said, All my friends are doing pottery business. They buy cheap pottery from China and sell it here and make a huge profit. I also want to do that business. I need money for this. You sell the land and give me money. Bijan's parents discussed and decided that Bijan is their only son and they will give him this money to do business. Bijan took the business money and handed it over to one of his friends. He would buy utensils from China and give them to Bijan, and Bijan would sell them here. 10 days passed, and Bijan's father asked, When will your crockery articles arrive? It will take time to come from China, Bijan said. A month passed, and Bijan's crockery articles did not arrive. His father said, Is everything all right? Or is there any problem? Bijan said, Everything was fine. But actually, everything was not fine. After 2 months, Bijan's friend told that all the goods were lost under the ground in a landslide while coming through the mountain road. Now Bijan's father had nothing else to do. Bijan was wandering around helplessly. He thought it would have been better to listen to his father, but now he had no choice but to commit suicide. One day, he climbed the mountain to commit suicide. He couldn't even see the way properly, with tears in his eyes, in extreme despair. Sitting on the mountainside, he began to complain to God, "You are inconsiderate. You ended my life before it began. Everyone says you are the one who runs this world. Is this your management? You have filled people's lives with sorrow and pain. In the next birth, don't give me a human life anymore." Just then, a celestial voice spoke. "What do you want to be? Tell me, and I will fulfill your wishes." Bijan had no time to think, but in front of his eyes, he saw a hawk happily catching and eating a prey. He thought that the life of a bird is the most beautiful, and the hawk is the most powerful bird. He has no shortage of food, can fly whether he wants, and can fly high in the sky. If I were a bird, I would be a hawk, he said. I want to be a hawk. The celestial voice warned him that he would no longer be a human. Bijan accepted this condition, and immediately he became a hawk. Bijan had passed 2 days as a hawk, flying wherever he pleased and flying high in the sky. After 2 days, he felt he needed a nest. He made a nest in the high branch of a tree. 2 more days passed like this, but finding food became impossible for him. He did not know the tricks of catching prey so as not to be a hawk by birth. He gets a chance to catch prey twice a day, but he can't use those opportunities because he does not know how to play. He was getting weaker and weaker. He could not fly well. Flying in this way, he came to a forest. He saw a sick rat lying on the ground. He tried to satisfy his hunger by eating that rat. He hoped to get at least 1 sick rat every day. The next day, he felt even weaker. He did not find any sick animals that day. He sat in one place all day and returned home at night. That night, there was a heavy storm, and his nest collapsed on a tree branch, and a piece of tree branch broke into one of his wings. He was injured and lay on the ground. He didn't know what to do now. At this time, he first thought that if he were a man today, he could have pulled out the branch of this tree or gotten someone's help. After staying like that for a while, he tried to fly. Now he was so sick that he could not fly well. A number of crows followed him. The crows came and pecked the hawk with their beaks. The hawk realized that he would not get rid of the crows. He flew to the locality so that people would help him. But when did people help the hawk? The hawk flew and sat on the roof of a building. It was a hospital. The hawk saw from above how many people were coming there to be treated. He also thought to be treated. He flew and sat near the door of the hospital. Then a man took a broom and chased him out. He flew and sat on the road, and immediately some dogs came and tore him into pieces and ate him. Saying this, Vrikshacharya remained silent for a while. All the disciples were silent. No one liked the ending of the story. A disciple said, Gurudev, human life is better than all animals. Why can't we, humans, realize that? Gurudev said, man is the most advanced animals. He can do many things that other animals cannot even imagine. But man is not happy. He is always looking for deficiency in himself. He does not understand that God has sent him with completeness. He is not incomplete. He is the most complete. Friends, the completeness that is within you is composed by the Creator Himself. You are the only complete creation of this nature. You may lack in thought, but there is no lack in you. Stay well. Thank you very much.